It's time for the 64th annual Robbinsdale Whiz Bang Days Parade, and we bring it to you live today on Channel 12. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Kaiser from Channel 12. Thanks for joining us. We are at 40th and West Broadway, and as you can see, it's a beautiful Sunday. The streets are lined, and we've got people ready to see a great parade, and Robbinsdale always delivers. So let's head back to the streets and see the start of today's parade, and hopefully later on during the parade, we'll get a special guest to join us here at the booth to tell us a little bit more about some of the other things happening in Robbinsdale. It is a city with a lot happening now, so there'll be some fun right here on West Broadway with some of those new businesses that you might see in town. We lead off with the police car. They have been busy blocking the streets here along West Broadway to get us ready for today's parade. And people now stand up as the Chester Bird American Legion comes by. They are from also the Golden Valley Post 523, carrying the banner right behind. They bring along today their banners, color guard, rifles, and also some convertibles that you'll see behind with some of the officers from the Chester Bird American Legion. American Legion obviously very involved in the community. They have their hands in about everything, helping raise funds and giving money back to the community. We've got Jim Coomer as the driver of this car. And they've got the right idea with the ride along the convertible today. Teresa and Ron inside as well. And again, they are from Chester Bird American Legion, Golden Valley Post 523. We thank them very much for joining us today. And it looks like they have a few more of their vehicles with some of their leaders at the post. And also, it looks like a Jeep that might have a little history behind it, but someone has been very busy restoring that Jeep. Past commanders inside this next vehicle coming up, and there's a good look at the Jeep, and they've even got one of their representatives up on top. Going to have a little bit of a stiff left arm after this parade, but he is proudly waving the flag. That is the American Legion chaplain. And they have got a good crew behind them tossing out the Tootsie Rolls as well from the Legion. And it looks like on that Jeep, it is some of the Korean War veterans. So we thank them very much for joining us today. And some of the kids already picking up some of that candy on the sides of the street, as they will be doing throughout the day. We've got some of the American Legion riders here. We've got Evan on the orange bike. And no name with the rider on the black bike there. There's Evan right there. And they are out representing the Legion as well. And one of their representatives even right behind, in a wheelchair, scooting through the parade. How about that for a good look of a bike there? I think a little extra care taken for that over the years in someone's garage. Again, you are watching the Robbinsdale Whiz Bang Days Parade. They have been celebrating for the past few days. If you're watching us live on the Sunday, their festivities always start off on Thursday with an ice cream social, sidewalk sales, a lot of activities in the downtown Robbinsdale area, just a few blocks from where we are right here. Continue through Friday and Saturday with carnivals and activities, and then a lot of these people that you see now picking up candy will be heading down the block to Lakeview Terrace Park, and they will be watching the fireworks tonight, which put the close on the activities here in Robbinsdale. And these folks have been lined up for quite some time. It was neat to see as we came up to the parade location today that there were a lot of chairs and blankets already out on the street as these people got ready early. And as you can see, some of the political candidates came through the parade backwards, as they like to do these years, and gave some of those tickets out. Even some brought their own water along to keep themselves a little wet as the parade gets ready to go today. Next, we have our Grand Marshal coming for this year's Robbinsdale Whiz Bang Days Parade. And for people that don't know, that man you see right there, Mike Opat, the Hennepin County Commissioner, he is a longtime Robbinsdale resident. He is the commissioner for District 1 in Hennepin County, and he has obviously done a lot of things for the county, but also for the city of Robbinsdale, some of the county projects that have popped up here in town. Obviously, Mike has had a hand in that, some of the things done with some of the athletic fields in the area. And also, as you take a look behind us where this parade eventually goes across, is County 81, or Bottineau Boulevard. And that was some work done by the county, and Mike indeed helping with that process. He's waving, and some kids are waving back as Mike again heads by, our Grand Marshal for this year's parade. Very active not only in the political side of Robbinsdale, but also in a lot of the things that happen in the community. Looks like he's got his family on board there. Some sporting some Robbinsdale uniforms, so that's always good to see. Well, here comes a group that really Robbinsdale is very, very well known for. This is the Robbinsdale City Band marching into view, and as they get a little bit closer, we'll listen into a little bit of their fine music playing, but they have been around, as you see on the banner, since the early 1900s. And they were a staple at the Aquatennial each year and won many, many of those competitions, as I understand it. And they keep the tradition going here. They've got this group that marches, but they've also got a much larger group that plays as a concert band and plays some concerts here in the Robbinsdale area and also throughout the Minneapolis area. And they will be put back to work throughout Whiz Bang days here. They are getting into view, so let's sit back and enjoy the Robbinsdale City Band. Directing the band as they make their way through. I like the fun hats there that group gets to wear as they march through. There's current Mayor Mike Holtz, who has served the city as mayor, as I understand it, for 16 years. And about the same number of years before that, he served the city as a council member. And as most are aware in Robbinsdale, he has decided not to run for mayor again this next term, to hand that over to someone else and spend some time with his family. I'm sure he'll still stay involved in the city, but someone else will be mayor. So we want to thank Mike Holtz for all his service to the city of Robbinsdale, unparalleled in the area. And right behind Mike, you saw a quick banner, Amara's firework banner, that is in memory of Amara Roca, and we thank the family for continuing to keep that memory alive. Time for the fire department here, favorite of a lot of people that come to the parade. We've got the command vehicle out front, and then we've got noisy guys behind. Oh, and we've got our folks on the side of the road that have purchased some of the horns to blow. They're going to compete with the sirens here on the fire trucks. City of Robbinsdale's fire department, a volunteer fire department, so a lot of these people you see riding on board and driving down the street are volunteers, residents of the city of Robbinsdale, or might work here in Robbinsdale and spend some of their time responding to calls that might come here in the city. And they have a big event that comes up always in August. It is the fire department and police open house. This year it is Saturday, August 11th, 12 to 4. So if you're interested, stop on by. They've got fire truck rides, chance to get up close and personal. Look at that truck. He's got the sideways approach going down West Broadway here. And how would you like to try to figure out all of those knobs? They are always in need of more volunteers. So if that looks appealing to you, you might want to give them a call and find out more about being a volunteer for the Robbinsdale Fire Department. This next one coming behind, Engine 1, as you can see, been around for a few years, and that is the one that you can get some rides on. Thank you very much, sir. Some of the volunteers even dropping some candy by, but that number 1 will be out there on August 11th. And so if you're interested in heading over, not only a chance to have some fun and some food, but also a lot of education that goes on at the fire department open house. And you'll even get to see that unit right there, their hovercraft, which helps in some of the water rescues that might be on Crystal Lake or Twin Lake. Again, you're watching the Robbinsdale Whiz Bang Days Parade here on Channel 12. Just a few units into the parade. They have kicked it off in grand fashion here, and it looks like we're going to get some of our friends from surrounding communities in their fire vehicles to come by. This is Brooklyn Center ladder number 4. Of course, a lot of mutual aid that goes on between the different cities in fighting fires, and so if they need help on some of the larger units here in Robbinsdale, this truck might very well respond. And again, theirs is a volunteer fire department as well. And somebody's brought out another old-fashioned vehicle. Oh, that's Golden Valley's. And how about that? Listen to him cranking away there. He's working hard. And not like the bells of today. He's got to pull the rope there to get the bell to work. There he goes. Another volunteer fire department there. It looks like they celebrated, well, they celebrated 125 years as a city. It looks like they might have 100 years going as a fire department. At least that was a ways back. But 125th anniversary for the city of Golden Valley this past year. They had a number of activities that went on, and the fire department very involved in that. From the old, we go to another one of the new. How about the horn on that baby? He's trying not to smile inside, but I know they're all very proud to be firefighters and to have this opportunity to drive through town. From Golden Valley, we go to West Metro. This is one of their fire rescue units. And this is a department that serves the cities of Crystal and New Hope. They've got a few stations, one on West Broadway and one over by the City Hall, and that is quite the unit that serves and protects the people in those two towns near us. Robbinsdale is very proud of its senior community, and through the Chamber of Commerce and the Robbinsdale Senior Services, they recognize some honored senior volunteers. And these are 2 of the many volunteers that were honored at a recent Chamber luncheon. And these 2 were picked to represent that larger group and ride in the parade, Darlene Johnston and Sharon Laurel. We thank both of them not only for being in the parade today, not a bad ride through Robbinsdale in the Chevy convertible, but also they represent the people that volunteer in Robbinsdale as seniors, and there are a number of them that spend countless hours helping out the city. So thanks to those 2 and all the seniors who volunteer. We have royalty in Robbinsdale, and these, I believe, are the royalty from last year. Again, that coronation will be going on later today, and I think we're going to get to see some of the candidates. And you see the wonderful junior ambassadors out front, the princesses, and also Miss Robbinsdale, A.J. Oliver. We thank them for serving the city. They do a lot to represent the city of Robbinsdale and many, many other community parades. And there's a lady who's done a lot of work to get this whole event going. That is Candy Norton. She is the president this year of Whiz Bang Days. It's countless hours. Speaking of that, she has been busy representing the organization in the community and getting people involved and attached to what Whiz Bang Days is all about. Here comes the Channel 12 van. Some familiar faces on the truck there, both on the side and in the back. There is Jay Wilcox. He is one of the sports anchors, reporters for Channel 12. And on the other side, that's Mike Johnson, our news director. They both got the nice shorts going there today. They were ready for 95 degrees. Thanks to Mike and Jay for braving the heat here and representing Channel 12. Let's listen into a little music here for a second. We'll tell you more about this group. Well, that music and that candy, courtesy of Copperfield Hill. Got some great 50s music going, which is probably near and dear to a lot of the residents of Copperfield, located right across the street from us here in Robbinsdale, in the downtown area off Bottineau Boulevard. CopperfieldHill.com to find out more. Independent living, assisted living, and memory care is what they offer just across the street. Literally across the street. In fact, you can see them right behind the camera shot here as we look across the street at their banner. This is the K. Marie and Carol Dance Studio. And this is Team Magic Parade Unit, kmcdance.com to find out more. And they, again, are literally right across the street here. This is their Team Magic. They have a lot of fun opportunities for kids of all ages, as you can see, to get involved in the world of dance. We heard them a little bit ahead of the parade here, giving us a little pre-parade routine. And they're going to kick up the music again. There's the song we heard ahead of time. So we thank K. Marie and Carol's group for joining us today. And here comes one of the longtime businesses of the area here. And they are part of the kickoff of Whiz Bang each year. This is Citizens Independent Bank, located right down on the corner here on West Broadway. And it looks like we may have the man himself, Mark, inside there driving. There's Connie and all the crew. Diane out there on the parade route. They have been a very big supporter of the community in many, many ways, along with providing some quality service to the community at their bank just down the block. We've even got the special yellow shirts on today that remind us that there's something special in your neighborhood. Thanks for joining us. Oh, they've even got extra candy for this poor parade guy. Thank you very much. Again, you're watching the Whiz Bang Days Parade on Channel 12. We understand we've got a special guest announcer coming up in just a couple minutes here. We'll let you know when that occurs. You might recognize the voice when that person gets on the microphone with me. 40th and West Broadway, our location. A lot of people before the parade here enjoying the proximity to Dairy Queen, and these guys might be interested in that a little way through the parade as they get a little warm. This is the North Hennepin Sudak Do. It is a Korean martial art taught at the Crystal Community Center. The program has been a cooperative program of Robbinsdale Crystal for a number of years. Look at these guys. Oh! I don't know if I'd rather be the guy holding the board or the little guy down on the street. But thanks to some fine training, all went well. Now, look at, he's looking for someone to donate the board to. Oh, there, that little guy. I think, look at, he's not quite sure what to do with it. All right, there goes board number 2. And we've got some of the youngsters out in the middle of the street showing some of their moves. You see we've got some orange belts, green belts, red belts black here, and we did have the black belt just a minute ago take the big kick at the board. And we can proudly report that both pieces of the board have been successfully given away. Looks like they've been doing that for 20 years. Classes are held Monday and Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings over at the Crystal Community Center. So if you want to stop on by or give them a call, or you could call Robbinsdale Park and Rec, and they would be able to tell you more about the opportunities there. Here is a business that everyone knows is in the city of Robbinsdale. This is North Memorial Medical Center, which proudly is a level 1 trauma center here in town. And they, as well as service the community, but also give a lot back to the community in many, many ways. And this group right here that you see helps out at parades like this to make sure everyone's safe. And if something might happen, they are usually the first to respond, thanks to North Memorial, bringing their ambulance and some of their extra care units. Volunteers of America. You might not know that we do have a facility right here in the area from Volunteers of America. It is the Crystal Care Center located just off Highway 100. They provide elder homestead assisted living. And they have their van rolling by, which takes some of the people out throughout the community. And it looks like we've got Carrie. There she is in the middle. There's Carrie right there getting ready. I'm not sure what kind of a Frisbee. She's going to wing it at somebody there. Oh, very nice. Oh, and a catch was made. They've got the bright, bright orange on today, promoting the Crystal Care Center. It is, again, just on the border of Crystal and Robbinsdale, just off Highway 100. So if you want to stop by, nonprofit rehabilitation center for seniors to get them back to their homes after a hospital stay. Also, they have memory care and long-term care. Throughout the parade today, you'll see a number of area businesses and churches and organizations. One of the churches that has done a lot in the town over the years is Redeemer Lutheran Church and Preschool. They're located at 42nd and Regent. And I think they have a little bit of fun in store for us today. Oh, look at this. They've got the van there, and the back doors are open with some special goodies, I think, flying out of the van. Look, oh, they've got plenty of candy, but look at this. I'm trying to figure out the bird they've got there. Can anyone get a shot of those amazing birds there? Most are being given away. Right in the back of the van there. She's got one right there. Oh, we're searching. There they are. Not quite sure what to call it, but they're making some people very, very happy, and that is Redeemer Lutheran Church and Preschool. Preschool enrollment for the fall is now open, and their Sunday services are at 9 a.m. And they've also got the Farmington fire truck representing their school and church, and they've got a number of the volunteers and members, no doubt, of the preschool on board the fire truck. How about that for a fun connection? Someone knows someone in Farmington or has a truck that they can get a hold of. Here's some of our junior candidates. Robbinsdale, a very successful ambassador program. And it looks like we've got Eva and Zachary on board. Looking very nice here this afternoon. They've got some wave practice down, and they will be part of the ambassador program that happens later this evening. Robbinsdale Lions out with the big truck there, as you couldn't tell from the front of the truck there who they were. A lion of every shape and size. And some of the folks behind the organization there, and easy ways to get involved. Attend a meeting. Ask a lion to sponsor you and join the club. They meet on a regular basis here in Robbinsdale. Look like they've got some necklaces that they're handing out. Right behind we have one of the current council members, George Selman, Ward 3 council member. And as we mentioned earlier in the parade when we saw Mayor Holtz roll by, he is not running for mayor this year, so George has tossed his hat into the ring and is a candidate for mayor. Something tells me you might be seeing a few of these signs and signs of others throughout the community. GeorgeSelmanForMayor.com is the website. That is a 4 as in the number 4. They're having a good time seeing how far they can throw the candy out on the streets. Not Rebecca, though. Rebecca is busy waving away. She is one of the queen candidates, and she is sponsored by Hackenmuller Meats. We thank Rebecca for taking some time, no doubt out of her busy summer schedule this year, to run. And if she is one that wins as a queen or a princess, she will be spending quite a few additional summer afternoons in parades. And this lady who's found the opening in the sunroof there, I believe, is from Emily's F&M Cafe. My guess would be, I can't say this for sure, my guess would be it might be Emily herself from the cafe up top. It looks like they're handing out some menus on the side of the street here. Specialists of home-cooked food, breakfast anytime. They're located on 44th Avenue, just down the block here in Minneapolis. Thanks, Emily, for joining us today. Neighborhood tradition celebrating 30th anniversary. Congratulations. From a long-time restaurant to one of the newer restaurants in the area, and mentioned at the beginning of the parade that there are some businesses that have been popping up here along West Broadway, and one the past couple years, it's maybe even been a little bit more than that now, is Nona Rosa's. Oh, and I think they've got water, which is making a lot of the parade goers very happy as they bake along the side of the street here. Nona Rosa is located right down on West Broadway, near Hackenmuller's and Willetts in that general area, 42nd and West Broadway. Oh, I don't know if our cameraman asked for it or not, but he got it. I think they just shot his body, though. Jason, way to go out there. He took one for the team. He didn't hit the camera. Just got the body. Oh, here they come. Now I'm going to have to watch out here. I think I'm going to hold my book up just in case. I'll act like I'm reading and not paying attention. She's dangerous out there. There's Tina. Tina, oh, there she is. Look at, she is excited about spraying the crowd here today. She will be remembered. There's Tina, one of the main folks behind the operation at Nona Rosa. Her and her husband are the owners of that restaurant, and look at that, they're loading up behind the back of their truck. NonaRosasWineBar.com to find out more about their group. Right behind we see flowers, and more flowers. This is Donato's Floral, celebrating 25 years of business, and they've got their crew there. You see them wearing the 25-year shirts. Who knows, maybe they're all relatives of the family. There they head by. They are located over in the Crystal Robbinsdale border, right on Noble, so make sure you stop over and see the family there. They do a great job. That's all we got. All right, 25 years. Anna stopped by to say hello. She is the lady behind the organization there, and they keep things bright and beautiful here in town. And of course, they do delivery. Most cases, the back filled with flowers and not with people there. But they have indeed decked out their delivery truck, voted best florist by the community. Congratulations to them. This is the Good Samaritan Society Specialty Care Community, and they have been in Robbinsdale in the past, but are coming again. You might have seen the construction just down the road here on West Broadway, and they are busy building a new facility here in Robbinsdale. It looks beautiful, and it looks like they will be opening things back up in October. And they've got the Jug Busters here on top. This looks like it must be their little band. Let's see if we can sneak a listen in here. Oh, there's the jug. All right. I'm going to be quiet so you can hear the jug. Let's listen close. There they are, the Jug Busters. Now you know why. And again, they were a great partner in the community in the past, and no doubt will be again in the future as their facility gets ready to open up in October. Another council member rolling through. This is Bill Blonigan, who has served the city as the first ward councilman for a number of years. I'm just going to be quiet because Bill always has good things to say. Let's listen. He's handing it off to the rest of the family, it looks like, this year. Bill, thanks for your service. He also is involved with our organization, Channel 12, and been a member of our commission for a number of years. So thanks to Bill. He is having a fun ride through town here on his convertible today. Hennepin County Sheriff's Department, and they often will come through with a brown vehicle that you might recognize up front, but behind that, one of their boats. And of course, with Robbinsdale, with some lakes in town here, if there is a larger lake emergency, that boat might need to respond. Also with the Mississippi River, they are busy throughout the Northwest metro area. Thank them for joining us today. Robbinsdale has a Human Rights Commission, and they have some of their representatives here today as they help us remember to celebrate diversity. And the little gal busy handing out candy in the wagon there. Asking people to remember, vote no. Don't limit the freedom to marry is what their message is today. They're handing out some stickers along the way. You can find out more about the Robbinsdale Human Rights Commission, no doubt through the city's website. And I believe that is a all-volunteer group here in town. Robbinsdale this year brought back one of the old traditions of Whiz Bang Days. It's the talent show, and there is the winner of the talent show. She's got something to say. Maybe we can get her to sing. Jason, ask her to sing a little bit for us.
Thank you kindly.
All right, you heard the message there. We thank Liz for joining us today in the parade. And again, she was the winner in the talent show, which happened over near the Transit Center, part of the block party event. And if you're interested in more, you can look to whizbangdays.com and find out more about how you can possibly get involved in the next talent show. We saw Candy earlier, the president of Whiz Bang Days. This is the vice president, David Lenhart. There's David waving away. He's got another nice ride going in today. Right behind David, some more of our candidates rolling through. Whiz Bang Days obviously much more than just a parade. It takes a lot of work and volunteer effort to get this event off and running each year, and we thank them for putting that together. Part of those connections they make is connecting with other community organizations, and we've got the Miss Minnesota group rolling through. Lisa and Sydney riding on the back of the convertible there, representing the Miss Minnesota group. These young ladies carrying the Heart of Robbinsdale Foundation banner, and that is a group that does a lot in the community here to raise money, find projects, and give money back to the community. And a number of people that you might know in the community involved in that group, and I believe their group this year has supported the parade again, as they have done for years, and I think they might have something to do with these interesting looking vehicles running down West Broadway. This is part of the Zura Shrine group. And this is the Mariners, one of the units from the Zura Shriners. Active performing unit in these numerous events throughout the summer. And they are proud to support Minneapolis Shriners Hospital and follow the motto, "We ride so they can walk." Only if they were on the water. I bet they'd be enjoying that even more. A little cooler. Looks like they've got some of their coolers inside the vehicles to grab a little water between performances, but look at this. Some tight turns going on. So tight, in fact, they have to grab the side of their boat every time they come around the corner to make sure they don't end up on the ground. And even with the Shriner's hat proudly displayed on the front of each unit. Take a look at the kids on the sides of the street. They enjoy these, but they always take a few steps back as they come through to make sure those boats don't get too close. There they are in formation. Beautiful. Makes you feel like you're out in the middle of Lake Minnetonka. All right, guys, very nice job today. Oh, now they're trying to figure out how are we going to get by the cameraman. There they go. They don't need much room to get their act going. Thanks to the Mariners for joining us today. They're having some fun out on West Broadway. Not something you see every day happening down the streets here at Robbinsdale. Are you ready for some more music? If so, this is a group that might interest you. This group is from Brooklyn Park, and they are part of the Lions organization in Brooklyn Park. They are the Drum and Bugle Corps. Bruce Gurley is the man behind this group. I bet Bruce might be riding along in the big van and trailer carrying some of their equipment. And this group is sponsored by, as you see the banner right in front, the Robbinsdale Chamber of Commerce. They say hello from Brooklyn Park Lions. Their motto is, "We serve." Let's sit back and listen and enjoy the Drum and Bugle Corps from Brooklyn Park Lions.
Lions rock the house. Lions rock the house. What, they rock the house. Say what? Lions rock the house.
Brooklyn Park Lions Drum and Bugle Corps. I think we found the hardest working guy in the parade today. It's that drummer right there. He is working hard, and Bruce was out there along the street making sure everyone's cool. Thanks to Bruce and the whole Lions from Brooklyn Park for bringing that group to us here in Robbinsdale. A little closer to home is Cooper High School, and here come the cheerleaders from Cooper. Looks like they're getting into formation. Let's see if we can sneak a listen in to one of their performances that you'll no doubt see on the sidelines of some of the sporting events this coming fall.
Go! CHS, let's go! CHS, let's go! CHS, let's go! CHS, let's go!
Nice job, ladies. The junior varsity and varsity cheerleaders from Cooper High School. They will be cheering for football and basketball this coming season. And they say, as you just heard, go Hawks. Here's a car from the pass rolling through, and they are representatives from, I'm trying to put together the pieces here. We don't see them listed in our book, but they may be involved with the Robbinsdale Crime Prevention Group. You see the sign in the front windshield there that talks a little bit about we watch, we call, we care.
Association, in association with Pat Backen, Ward 4, City Councilman.
They are very, very good at throwing candy, though, so thank them for being a part of that. They've also got some of the stickers on from the Human Rights Commission. There they go. Oh, it is the Crime Prevention Association. I see Andy Watson inside there. Looks like he might have a microphone. He's trying to make some announcements along the parade route here. Good job, Andy. Good radio voice there. I can hear it. Broadway Pizza, well-known business in town for years and years. We also have Eagles Nest Lounge, located right on the corner of Botno Boulevard and 41st. BroadwayPizzaMN.com to get your pizza today. Looks like they've got candy to give out and maybe a few certificates that might get you in on a pizza or two. They've got their train. They've also got this. Oh, and there's Ron inside. Ron Eagles himself. He's got all sorts of toys, and that must be one of them right there. Look at that nice looking car there. I think that's the new trend you see at some of the car shows. It's maybe a little how rustic it can look, the better. Birdtown Cafe, a new business in town right along West Broadway here, and they have got off to a great start. Breakfast and lunch available there, and no doubt will be one that will be a great supporter of the community. And I think that's Brad himself inside driving the big truck along today. Welcome addition to West Broadway. They're located right down in the that bakery area right near 41st and West Broadway, so make sure you stop in, say hi to Brad and the whole crew, and enjoy some of the good home cooking there. If you know the history of the Northwest suburban area, you know if we're talking potatoes, what city we're talking about. This is Brooklyn Park. This is their ambassador program. See some of their new royalty. Their celebration, as you saw it here on Channel 12, is in June each year, so they've got some of their ambassadors on board there. Some riding down in front, and some get the pleasure of somehow climbing up through the potato and being up on top there with the butter. There they are. You see them way up there on top. Heard rumors that there's a slide inside the potato, but I haven't experienced it myself yet. But it is quite the creation there, and again, they take the opportunity to take that float throughout the Northwest suburbs and throughout the state to represent the city of Brooklyn Park. Again, we're at about the midway point of this year's Whiz Bang Days Parade, and in fact, we're about the midway point of the parade route itself, and one of the things that happens on the parade on occasion is it does cross Botno Boulevard down at 40th. And so occasionally they have to let some cars through that are heading down Botno Boulevard. And that's why we might on occasion get a little holdup like this in the middle of the parade. But that gives us more time to talk about things like this. bowling pin on West Broadway. This is the AMF bowling pin. And I don't know about wanting to be inside that today. It looks like he's got a fan on the leg. Look at the leg there. He's got some fan mechanism inside to keep him blowing up and hopefully to keep him cooled off a little bit as well. This is representing Earl Brown Lanes. They are located on James Circle up in the city of Brooklyn Center. They have some great leagues, great open bowling, and in fact, this next vehicle that comes through, if you take a close look at the side of it, you're going to find out a little bit more about a great way and an easy way to get out and do some bowling this summer. There you see it. It's free bowling for kids all summer long. And that is at the Earl Brown Lanes up in Brooklyn Center. Tommy the 10 pin is the coolest bowling pin in Minnesota. He's staring me down from the other side of the street, but keeping his distance. Looks like they're handing out some bowling passes as well. They want you to sign up at their front desk, or you can go to freebowling.amf.com to find out more ways that you can get in on some of the bowling fun. And they've also got food there as well and some games, so you might want to stop by and take advantage of all Tommy the 10 pin and the folks have to offer. Thanks to Earl Brown Lanes. CRI Remodelers, Custom Remodelers Incorporated. Joining us in today's parade. They are throughout the metro area, as you see. Siding, windows, roofs, and gutters is what they provide. They've got one of their work trucks on board. I understand it is a family operation. But that is not one of the family members right there. That, of course, one of our Aquajuster clowns. They are happy to join us each year, representing their full club. I think we get a portion of them each year here in Robbinsdale, and you get a few different acts each year. Let's see if we can pick up one or two. They've got the Skunk on the other side of the street. The Skunk is not too popular. Everyone keeping their distance from the Skunk. We've got the Clown on top with the dummy clown there. Oh, there's the Skunk looking good, hopping along the road there. I don't see the legs work, but the Skunk definitely motors along. And that Jeep, well known for years and years as being the vehicle of the Aquajusters. I don't think they ever fight fires, but they obviously look like they could be prepared to share a little water if they wanted to. An Aquajuster fan right there. He's got the big fan. Ready to cool a few people off on the side of the street. He might be sought after to come help out. And this next group is representing Regan Murphy for mayor. He is a candidate that is announced for mayor. Murphyformayor.org is where you can find out more. And they've got some of his fan club on board there, and let's see if we can spot Regan somewhere out there. I'm sure shaking hands here. He's right behind the car right now making his way up. There he is in the picture. Regan heading across the street. Very involved in the community in a number of ways for years, and now he is throwing his hat into the ring as a candidate for mayor. And you'll see some of his signs out and about town. Off-Broadway Music Theater. They are a familiar group from just across the border into New Hope, and they've got a big show coming up this year, which has a little bit to do with what that guy's doing right now. No, it's not a gymnastics show. It is Footloose. A little dancing. Here he comes again. Watch out. Hear some of the music playing in the background. Looks like they've got the help of Superior Ford with their vehicle today. Something tells me they have a good time with that show, and that happens throughout the summer here. It is in July is when you see the event. In fact, opening night is July 19th. Runs for 3 weekends. Thursday's show begins at 8. Suggested donation of $4 per person, and that helps keep that tradition going. So if you can do that, stop on and see the Off-Broadway Music Theater. This is the Church of Sacred Heart. You can tell by the building there on the back of the float. They're located right at the corner of West Broadway and Noble. And they got their fall festival the second weekend of September each year. Games, auctions, raffles, dining, and much more. And they've even got some young ones there helping hand out some nice, cool treats today. Right behind one of our candidates for ambassador here in the city of Robbinsdale, Catalina. Welcome to her. She's got the wave down very well. And she again will be heading over to the other side of the lake this evening for the big ambassador program. She is sponsored by the Heart of Robbinsdale. After this next group, we're going to add in a special guest announcer with us today who we already had a chance to see in the parade, but somehow he found his way back. This is Elam Lutheran Church. They are a cornerstone to West Broadway and this whole community. And look at that vehicle there. That one's been pulled out of someone's garage after a little polishing. They obviously do a lot here in the community as a church, but also have a number of programs that work with seniors in the community. And you see they have Vacation Bible School. They're all over the wagons. July 29th through August 2nd. They ask you to stop by the church and register, or elam-robbinsdale.org to find out more about how you can get involved in that. Right behind Video Universe, longtime business in the Robbins Center. They are one that somehow has stayed alive here as a lot of movie stores have closed, and part of the reason, as you see on the side of the vehicle, there are 40,000 movies for rent. And they are a local business that sticks in there and does a great job here in Robbinsdale. Joining us is Mike Opat. He is the Hennepin County Commissioner, and you saw him earlier in the parade. Mike, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thanks, John. It's good to be here.
And you have a little tie to the city of Robbinsdale. Just
a little bit.
How many years for you in this fine town?
Well, I grew up across the border in Minneapolis, but 20 years for me in Robbinsdale in the house I live in now, but my whole life on the north side and in Robbinsdale. So.
Well, we're glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. I want to mention you saw the Brooklyn Center Lions Club rolling by. We've seen lots of Lions in the parade today. We've got some Scouts walking by as well. And it looks like they are promoting Miss Shamrock, the St. Patrick's Association. And
she looks Irish.
She does, yes. Has the red hair, so she fits in there. That's Alyssa. Thanks, Alyssa, for joining us today. And this is King of Grace Lutheran Church. They are in Golden Valley. And you would not be able to guess it by the float, but I think they are the Knights. How about that, Mike?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good guess, John. You're a professional at this, I can tell. You've done this before.
I don't think there's anyone inside the Knight uniform itself. That might get a little hot today.
Yeah, they'd be a French fry or something today, I think, if that were the case.
And they have done a lot to support the Golden Valley community. They've got a church there and obviously the school as well, tied right in. It is a political year, and so we've had a number of candidates march through. Here's another. This is actually a candidate from across the border in Crystal. Jim Adams is running for mayor in the city of Crystal. And by the look like, I think he might have something to do with the fire department.
Well, I think everybody in Crystal has something to do with the fire department. They have an opinion on it, I know. It's a lot of folks thinking about fire in Crystal and New Hope, but I'm sure they'll work that out. That's a warm helmet to be wearing, so he's going to make a statement there.
He's got some of his walkers along, handing out some goodies for Jim Adams, again running for Crystal Mayor. Here come the Girl Scouts, as we mentioned just a minute ago. And looks like we've got every brand of the Scouts joining us here. We've got the, trying to think, I want to say Bluebirds, but I don't know if that's the right term for the young Scouts.
I think that is right, but I don't have any Bluebirds or Scouts or Weeblos or Eagles or anything in my kids.
Look at the young ones there. All the patches on the backs of those vests. They have been busy, and they, as you see on the float, are celebrating 100 years as Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts of Minnesota and Wisconsin River Valleys. We thank them for joining us in the parade today. They've got a singing crew as well. They want you to know they're Girl Scouts. Mike, tell us a little bit more about the county's work here in Robbinsdale. We were mentioning it when you went by in the parade that you've been a little involved in some improvements in Robbinsdale. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's been fun. Well, I think the biggest that goes right through Robbinsdale is Bottineau Boulevard, and there's 2 phases done in the Crystal, and there'll be a 3rd phase. But I think the street lighting and all the landscaping improvements has been great. And that's the biggest one has been all the work at Lakeview Terrace, which we had a lot of partners, but trying to redo the ball fields there and then actively clean up the lake. Crystal Lake is, we all walk by it and see it, but we really know no one swims in it and very few people fish in it. And I think that's one thing we're trying to work on improving. So that's been good. And then the last one, you were there, John, last year, about a year ago, we rededicated Victory Memorial Drive, which is technically, I guess, in Minneapolis, but it's along the Robbinsdale border, and that new memorial is just fantastic, and the lighting on the parkway and all those things. And
even these guys right here, too. We should mention that you do a lot with sports, and you try to promote youth sports. It looks like we've got some of the champions here from Robbinsdale. Look at those banners along the side, and they're another group that's making people very happy. Oh, they're getting the camera there.
Yeah. These guys rock. This is the Little League, and I'm a Little League coach. I got to full disclosure here. So I was coaching the 11-year-olds earlier today, the All-Stars, and we came in second today, John. We didn't win it, but a lot of the teams are doing well, and Ken Timmerman there's in the back. He's the president, and he's a mega volunteer, a superstar of volunteers, and you see a lot of the players. And we have a great Little League association for a small town like Robbinsdale, and I know you guys are so good at covering some of it, and great. We have some great sponsors, and you see some of there, and there's a Dairy Queen right across the street. They sponsor a team, and we even get Hennepin County Medical Center to write a check to keep a team going. So
perfect.
It's a lot of fun.
Another organization here in town is the Robbinsdale Masonic Center Compass Lodge. They are just down on West Broadway, and they have put together a nice looking float here today. Thank you very much. And they've got some of their representatives on board. The Order of Job's Daughters there. The De Molay as well. The Shriners, Order of the Eastern Star, and the Knights Templar. Some of the young ladies on top do some work here in the community as well.
It's always interesting. A lot of the organizations, and you see them, John, from day to day in your reporting, but I don't see them very often. It's at parades, and I don't even go to many parades, but it's always interesting to have conversation with the folks in the staging area. And for people who don't go to the staging area, everybody's got to wait and line up, and there's a great opportunity to talk to people and understand a little bit about their organizations and see the energy. There's a lot of energy at a parade start, and you burn it all up on the route, but
that's because they're eating all that candy ahead of time, right?
They're trying to, and then they panic.
Ta Salon walking right in front of us here, and they have some Freezy Pops there. And Mike jumped at that opportunity to get his hands on them.
Yeah, that probably doesn't work though, does it?
Oh, that's fine. Just keep eating away there.
Yeah.
They are located here in the area. We thank them for joining us. And how about that nice looking vehicle going through? And I think that is part of the Robin Gallery, Hennepin Artists of Robin Gallery. They are located over in the old actual library that was here in Robbinsdale off of 42nd. And that is shared building with the arts group and also then with the Robbinsdale Historic Society. So they have some great shows going on a regular basis. So if you want to stop by, I don't know if you'll see the car there on a regular basis, but you'll see some great art, kind of a hidden gem in town.
If they got that car inside, John, I would be impressed because that's a small building with a few different users.
Park Nicollet coming into view. They have got the pink on today to keep us mindful of the Jane Bratnan Breast Cancer Center. And they ask you to be pink, parknicollet.com, to find out more about their organization. And it looks like they're handing out some information about the Be Pink program. Oh, wait a sec here. I don't know, Mike. Now you've got the Freezy Pop there. You might want this next one. It looks like they've got an emery board for you.
Yeah, I'm
we'll
not so much for nails, but the Freezy Bot hit the spot, though, John. I think you missed out on that one.
We both immediately put up the no thanks for that, but we'll let others get that, and I'm sure it has some information again about that organization. Another political candidate coming through, Amy Klobuchar, is a United States Senator for the state of Minnesota. I'm not sure if Amy's joining us today, but
she's there. Yeah, she's back there.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
I think all of Amy's family and friends and relatives and supporters might be with us here in Robbinsdale today.
Well, this is a professional organization here. Yeah, there's parade. I'm a rookie parade guy, John, but Amy's got it down. She's got the signs, they got the stickers, and they have a lot of folks. So she told me last weekend she did 15 in a weekend. And I don't doubt it.
15 parades in one weekend?
In one weekend. There are 15 different spots anyway. It's a number of different parades. So one from another to another to another for her.
And something tells me she understands how to stand in front of and present herself in front of a camera. Look at that. She took a moment there to say hi.
Yeah.
She's got a few more cameras coming up in just a second, so we'll see if she has another opportunity to stop by. And my guess would be walking with her family there.
She is. That's her husband, John, and daughter, Abigail.
And we are at about the 2/3 mark of this year's Robbinsdale Whiz Bang Days Parade. Again, Dave Kaiser joined with Michael Pat as we bring you the parade. That's okay. You can call me whatever you want to call me, Mike.
Jeez, I've been calling you John Jacobs and all that.
All these sports guys.
on my brain,
I
yeah.
know those sports guys are tough to get out of our minds. Here we go. Now
you're supposed to put an elbow into my ribs if I screw it up the first time.
Well,
so.
I was waiting for the right moment and a little pause to go there. So we thank Mike for joining us today, and again, been very involved in the city of Robbinsdale and a resident as well. So thanks again for stopping by. How'd you get back here so fast? You must have had the secret transit. Will the police help you out?
I know my way around the back road to Robbinsdale, so I managed to get back.
We appreciate you coming back. This is Faith Church. They are here in the city of Robbinsdale, faithchurchrobbinsdale.com, where you can find out more. These guys, I think, are one that we're talking about earlier that obviously took to eating the candy earlier, maybe handing out most of it at the front. And I think they've got the buckets going on the heads.
That is a day. I remember I've yet to meet anyone who overbuys candy for a parade. The few times I've been there, you think, oh, this will be enough. You make the Costco run, and then you get about 2/3 of the way to, and the eager volunteers are saying, where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of it? So that mostly that was with the Little League. So they squirted us this year, and I think that's a budget saving activity.
I
there,
got it. Yeah, water's pretty cheap.
Water's cheap. They can just, they're at a distance, and every player doesn't feel like they need to pass out something. So.
Again, Faith Evangelical Free Church, and they've got one of the young ones up there singing away. They've got The Story coming in September, and maybe she's a part of that. Let's listen for a second, see if we can listen into the words.
I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the minutes.
All right, she's got a great voice. I think she might have to get to the talent show next year.
That's multitasking. Her stage is moving, she's waving, she's singing and standing, and with a different audience with every roll of the wheels there. So that's.
All right, there's the Lodge Restaurant coming through. They are located right behind us here in the town center in Robbinsdale. I want you to stop in for a meal. Dan Rogan is the Ward 2 council member. You saw Dan there. He's got the football. I don't know if he's letting the football go. It looks like he's just hanging on. Oh, we've got someone that knows you, Mike.
Yeah, well, there's council member Rogan. I work with the council member and his son Finn, who's got a good arm. Plays a little baseball.
I think so. I think you maybe have seen him out on the field a time or two.
Well, Dan is also a Little League coach, so he's coming right from a game. He just gave me the sign that they came in second place too. So.
Oh, very good. And here comes the Carlson clan, and you might recognize Lynn Carlson on board there. And Carol driving the vehicle. Lynn has served the area for, I can't even count the number of years.
It's closer to 30 than 20, but he's going to his district changes this year,
yes,
Dave.
That's right.
He will no longer represent Robbinsdale for this is the first time in a long time. His district will be the western part, so he's going to have Crystal and New Hope in that Senate district, which is more or less Crystal, New Hope, and Golden Valley. So that's a big change. So
be aware when you go to the election booth this year.
Be a name you don't see on your ballot or one you do for the first time. So.
Carissa Nelson right there, one of our ambassador candidates. She'll be busy tonight with the ambassador program. She is sponsored by Nona Rosas.
Dave, now, this is my first time. I've never been a Grand Marshal before, so I was Grand Marshal this year, and it was
did a fine job.
Well, thank you. I had
you
no
stayed on
candy.
the vehicle.
Yeah, I stayed on. I didn't have anything to throw out, so I wasn't as popular as you could be. But I've noticed the few events there are with this, the royalty are there, and it's a demanding job to be royalty, either running for it or the year afterward, because they're dressing up all the time and all kinds of things, so hats off to them.
Yeah, we couldn't make it because we'd have to make our hair look nice every time, and it just wouldn't work.
There's a lot of reasons that I wouldn't make it.
Zura's Steel Drum Band. Let's listen to a little bit of the Calypso sound. Thanks again to another one of the Shriners groups joining us. You saw the sponsoring banner out in front of them. Unfortunately, we just missed it out of view there, but another one of the Robbinsdale organizations sponsoring that group. And this is the Prism Express that you might see driving around town. This is a great way that Prism, people responding in social ministry, reaches out to the community and helps seniors continue to get around town. It's hard to see through the windows there, Mike, but I think there are some of the users of the service right inside the bus.
Yeah, there are. Looks like there's certainly some folks in there.
Prism located out of Golden Valley, and they are one of the food shelves and organizations that serve some of the southern part of Robbinsdale and then near serves some of the northern part. And again, I would guess we probably have our fine police letting traffic through on Bottineau Boulevard now, so we'll get a quick pause here in the parade. I don't know if coffee would be the right choice today, Mike. What do you think?
No,
coffee on the parade route?
The icing, for sure.
Yeah, the iced coffee might work. Well, this is the Daily Grind. They are a coffee house right here in Town Center Mall, and they would like you to come, well, any morning, but on a cool morning, stop in and get that coffee. They've got Wi-Fi, it looks like, as well, and some food to offer. Another one of the local businesses that is proud to be in the parade today. Timberwolves have their big van pulling by.
There they are.
A little excited about the season this year. A little changing of some faces there for the team.
Good.
And a candidate running for state rep is Mike Freeberg, 45B. Thanks, Mike, for coming by. Mike is busy working back and forth across the street.
Yeah. Now Mike is running for the open seat. So we talked about the Lynn Carlson seat. Yeah, that other seat was held by Sandra Peterson, who retired. So that's an open seat, and he's one of the candidates to represent Robbinsdale.
North Memorial Medical Center is proud to sponsor this fine-looking crew coming up. This is Sioux Fu Do. They are out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And obviously, as you can hear, there's no use competing with them, so we're going to be quiet for a second and let you listen into their chanting and drumming. Here they go. Keep the sound down on your TV. There's more, folks. Hold on a second here. I think the cymbal guys have some new energy this year. They're not only playing out in the street, they have decided they need to play in the crowd.
They've got a water break going on there. They're going to hydrate the group, it looks like. So
probably not a bad idea with all the activity here. Again, they're out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and part of their fun is to head throughout not only South Dakota, but the surrounding states each year to do things like this. SiouxFuDo.org to find out more. Here comes part 2. Let's listen. Looks like they're even sharing some of the water with the crowd here as they get a break from the band. SiouxFuDo.org. There go the cymbal players having some more fun with the kids.
I expected more out of that right there. I don't know if do we have it on camera, the little gymnastics thing? I thought we were going to get some.
Maybe they spent most of their energy earlier part of the parade here.
They might have.
Now, I wonder if you go online to their website, though, can you pick up those socks? I think that might be something.
The green shoes are where the old Converse.
Exactly.
All-Stars.
Where did they get those things? SiouxFuDo. Great addition to the parade. How about this little guy? Mike, this in your past, maybe? Never the family car?
Not, no. We had the old Chevy Impala station wagon.
Very nice.
In the era before seatbelts, where every kid packed in. You know, you remember those.
Oh,
days,
yes,
Dave.
yes. Looks like we got some nice wood grain going there. Let's see.
There was a panel-sided Ford, I think, in the OPAT history books,
Very
too.
nice. And that is representing Broadway Auto Tech, which is right across the street
there
from
it is,
us
sure.
as we look up and across the street. So if you need some service done on the vehicle, they would be happy to help you out there. And it's a 1960 Morris Minor Traveler.
Oh, all right.
How about that?
I've never seen one of those, I can say. Looks like a Mini Cooper, though, doesn't it?
It
Almost
does,
looks like,
yeah. The precursor to that, you saw Brunswick Zone go by. They are the extra-large center for fun in the city of Brooklyn Park.
Aren't they a cool place when you go up there? There's really been nothing like it in the northern suburbs for years. A laser tag, the thing, the parties thing, and then just a fantastic bowling alley. And a great addition to Brooklyn Park.
Some neat stuff happening there. This is the Robbinsdale United Church of Christ. They've got some of their folks carrying banners in front. And if you look at the skyline of Robbinsdale, this is something you see on occasion. You look right over City Hall, and you'll see the top of their church, which looks just like that. And they're
That's a great float.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. They're on Facebook, and they've even got someone, I don't know if they got the short straw there, Mike, but he's working hard there. He's pedaling away with his hands. He's doing pretty well for about halfway, 2/3 of the way through the parade.
He's going to be, he's going downhill, but then he's going to be going uphill coming into the park. So we'll
That's right.
send the camera up ahead and see if he makes it.
If you've got computer issues, this good-looking computer guy might be able to help you out. Look at that guy. He's got the computer head going right there. There he comes across the street.
There he is, yep.
We've seen dancing about everything. I don't know if on any parade over the years we've seen the dancing computer, but this is promoting Orphan Computers, which is located right down West Broadway here as you get close to Citizens Independent Bank. They want to help your computer problems. They've been in the area for a couple years. And this is Orphe the computer, apparently. There he is. Orphe's really doing a fine job down the street. Please consider giving the orphans a home.
What's he going to do in a few years when the computers get smaller? When he goes to a flat screen, how's that
That's
going to
right.
work?
That's not going to work.
No.
And he's having a little trouble with the main box there as well to keep it up on the hips. I think losing a little weight during the parade might be the case.
That might be it, yep.
All right, look at how these folks are getting through the parade. They want to let you know that they'll come pick up your junk. That's why the wheelbarrow's going through. This is 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And the wheelbarrow today, as you see, he rolls through, is full of candy.
Yeah. I think they might I don't think it was planned to drop it in the middle of the street there, but they'll...
The truck driver is being very cautious. Even with the big sunglasses there, they can still see enough to make sure that they're safe through the rest of the parade. Mike, is the county involved in some of the work that's going on over at the Robbinsdale Middle School and the athletic field area behind it? I know people have seen a lot of work, and people have been asking me what's going on there.
Right.
And what is?
It's mostly the school district, and when the decision was made to keep Lakeview School, they also made a decision to remodel it. So it's getting a new roof, and it's getting a new front entry area. So there'll be better access and egress for the buses. We're involved only in the sense that Lake Drive will be reconstructed beginning late next year and into 2014. It'll be a wholesale reconstruction with new street lighting and bike lanes and everything. And then safety concerns at the school, being that they're a year ahead, is we're taking into consideration. So it should be a lot better and easier and safer way for the kids to get to Lakeview.
Well, here's another group that's very, very popular on this 95 and humid day. This is the Birdtown Club. And look at people are giving themselves up out in the middle of the street to get a little extra water on them. And you've seen these shirts around town, and there certainly is some great community spirit brewing in Robbinsdale. And it says, "You belong in Robbinsdale's own Birdtown Club." And they say it's better to be in Birdtown. If you want to find out more, you can put on one of the stickers, tattoos that Mike has here.
Yeah, www.birdtownclub.com. So I know one of the things they're trying to do is raise money for a pavilion down at Lakeview Terrace Park behind the new baseball diamonds and for picnics and such. And they've been working hard at it. At the block party on Friday night, they were selling shirts. And
excellent.
That Robin logo on them.
So go to their website and find out more about how you can get involved. We had the Cooper cheerleaders earlier. This is the dance team, and they look like they're ready for a performance. Let's step aside for a second and listen in and watch the Cooper dance team. Nice job, ladies. I'll see them throughout the school year as they perform at various events and also compete in their own competitions. If you're watching us live, of course, this is the last day of Whiz Bang Days this year, but there's still many things going on. We've got the coronation later on today, and we've also got the fireworks. And Mike, being a longtime Robbinsdale resident, I'm sure you have a secret spot to watch the fireworks. Do you want to give it away on TV or not?
There are a lot of good spots. Actually, you can see them from over near my house, over on near the park, near the Victory Memorial Drive. You can see them.
So you're inviting us over? Is that
well, there won't be anything there to eat or drink, but come on over. You know, the lake, Crystal Lake in Hollingsworth Park is the best spot because then you get the view of them over the lake, and I think everybody will see those. It'll be a bug. Who will win this year? The bugs, the mosquitoes, or the people? That'll be the question.
It could be a little interesting. There's not much breeze today, so that bodes well for the bugs, I'm afraid. Praise Christian Center is located in Crystal, praisecc.net. And looks like they have spent a little time in the makeup booth here. Got some smiley faces going there. Even the little guys, they're handing out the freeze pops. Mike, you got another chance.
No, I mean, I learned my lesson the first time, David.
No, thank you. You just can't have, they're gonna make sure you get one here, Mike. They're working hard. And they've got their band, might be their praise band from the church. Let's listen for a second. Praise Christian Church. Again, they're located on 41st and Douglas Drive in Crystal. You can find out more about all that they have to offer and maybe head over there and get your face painted by whoever's the star face painter there. Robbinsdale Area Shrine Club, group that does a lot here in the area. And you see on top of that car one of the best known things, Mike, a pancake or two in you from the Shriners. I'm not sure where he was from, if he's still from the church or from the Shriners. I think he belongs to the church.
He may be just freelancing today. I don't know, he's not wearing no buttons. So.
A fun run through the parade. Shriners, of course, give a lot back to the community, have a number of great programs. We saw some of their units earlier, and there's Tom and Lady D on top of that convertible. Thanks for joining us today. They've got the nice convertible going there, a Mercedes-Benz, it looks like, from the past. Cub Scout Pack 289 marching into view. How about for you, Mike? Cub Scouting in the past?
Never did the scouting, but I had some close friends who do, and there's certainly my colleague on the county board for a while, Mark Stenglein, was heavily involved in it, and his son became an Eagle Scout, so I know there's a lot of work that goes into both being a scout and volunteering with the Scouts.
And they probably could tell us a few things about mosquitoes as well. You see on the back of the float here, they've got the tent set up, and the guy's working hard on toasting the marshmallow there, but I don't think he's having much luck. The fire doesn't look too hot. Maybe if he just holds it down by the pavement.
He would probably get the job done. I agree, Dave. Yeah.
Scouts, of course, involved in a number of things in the community. You see some of the badges on board, and not only to do things in their own meetings, but they go out to a number of community organizations to learn about them. Thanks for stopping by. Good job there, Scouts. They've got a cooler full of water there that they're working on.
They do.
And not only a lot of kids, but a lot of parents. That's one of those organizations that a lot of times parents are the key to being involved in making sure the kids get those great opportunities. Another candidate rolling into view. This is Amanda. She is a ambassador candidate for the city of Robbinsdale. She is sponsored by the Robbinsdale Chamber of Commerce.
Now, Dave, here's some parade trivia for you.
I'm ready.
That car right there was the car I rode in earlier in the parade, so they've recycled.
Now, wait a second.
That's right.
Now we know how you got back so fast.
Right. Well, he had to wheel back and pick up round two, so Amanda, little sign change there, and she's back in the Chrysler LeBaron.
Now, Mike, I would have thought you might want to have been on this car right here, the lipstick car.
Tough to ride on it, but it's an interesting car. I don't...
these are part of the Art Cars of Minnesota, and that's Patty Paulson inside. It looks like she's ready to talk to you about riding on the car there, Mike.
I think she was talking to you, Dave.
She's very involved with arts in the area and has taken the art to a very interesting degree here where you can't miss it. So you might see that car driving around Robbinsdale on occasion. Look at the next one here. Snoopy's on board. But look at some of the intricate work on the side of that black car.
Yeah. It's hard to pick up maybe on the screen. Well, now we're back a car there with the flame car.
And we've got, it looks like the Dalmatian to me, but okay, a little bit of everything, and they've got Elmo it is. Elmo inside.
Okay.
Oh, I get the flame connection. Look up on the top of that thing as he drives by. Every once in a while, he hits something inside that a flame comes out the top. Come on now. There it goes.
So more of a nighttime float, I think there.
He's got the surfboard in back just in case he gets by the lake. Now this next one, what's
plates
on board here? Okay.
Looks like plates of all sorts. That's actually this one, and there's one coming up I drove by walking up to the start of the parade. But that is, think of the work to glue all those on there. And then there are some, looks like some dolls and other figures on top.
You know, and I'm sure there's a story behind each one. That's the neat part of some of these as well, is they could probably get out and tell, you know, that one I got in 1987 in wherever. And now we've got the Music Barn coming by, musicbarn.com. And they have done some interesting artwork. I didn't know music and farms went together, but on that particular vehicle they do. And how about this one? This looks like the Tile Mobile. That's rather interesting.
Mosaic kind of look to it. That one, there it is on the screen.
Do you think they're all tiles attached, or is that painting? You're gonna have to get a closer look maybe after the parade.
Yeah, that's a good question from this angle. It's hard to tell, but now this is poker chips. I saw that. Most of them are poker chips that have been spray painted, and then there's, of course, the other artwork. And
it's the dragon car, I think, is the theme here. You see the dragon hanging on top there.
And a few dragons inside in the back window. And, of course, a castle or two. And
there's the treasure chest in back. Everything your car needs, Mike. I could see you driving that downtown.
I'll take the treasure chest.
How about the next one here? We've got the VW Bug, which you couldn't tell it was a bug unless you looked close, and it's got a little bit of gnomes and fairies and all sorts of interesting things, and they've even got a young lady on the back there waving away. And how about the van here? First look to me, it meant something from the Flintstones era, but no, I don't think that's right. How about the look of that, though?
Kind of a log cabin
van,
I guess, right?
Someone's done a little custom work. Well, that is the Art Cars of Minnesota. They outdid themselves this year. The Farmington Royally joined us. This is Little Miss Farmington. It's Haley and the princesses, Tatum and Libby. Thanks, young ladies, for joining us today. And again, this is another one of those connections I would guess Robbinsdale has, that Robbinsdale might make a road trip to Farmington to be in their parade. And in turn, they come here. Oh, and these young ladies knew the camera was coming. There they go. They're ready now. Ronnie, Riley, and Vanessa. Miss Farmington and the princesses getting their nice close-up there. They're looking fine today. They look like they're okay with the 95-degree heat.
Yep, they're doing okay there.
And we've got more. Farmington, one of those towns that I always thought, Mike, that was outstate. That was a long ways away, and it almost is a southern suburb now. The way things continue to grow in the metro area.
It is interesting. Delano, I remember thinking Delano was a day's journey.
Right.
And now people commute from Delano, so I don't, they can have that commute, by the way.
That's right,
I'm not aspiring to it.
That's what makes Robbinsdale pretty neat, is the proximity to everything.
And this is a great time to remember that. You know, it's a great reminder, Whiz Bang Days, about just how much we have going for us here. And every year seems to get better lately with some of the restaurants and different amenities we have. This street itself has improved so much over the last 5 or 10 years.
Reed Johnson is running for state representative. And Reed's got the crew there holding the arrow over his head, so you can't miss who Reed is. Very well done. Want to find out more? You can go to Reed HouseForHouse.com, it looks like. And it looks like we've got Chris Fields running for Congress there. There's Chris right there. Good to see you, Chris. He's got his arrow coming with them as well. And he's hustling down the street because this group coming up next is sponsored by the Lions Club. And I believe this would be the Cracker Jack drum line. They're from Waite Park, Minnesota. We had the green guys earlier. Now we get the orange guys. Oh, and if you yell loud, watch out because they come after you. So here we go. They found someone on the other side of the street that must have said something. So Mike, keep quiet for a minute or we're in trouble. You're okay?
Mum's the word. They have a target on the other side.
They're looking here. Here they come back.
Good.
Work at air, very good. Not only do they play their own drum, but they share and can work off each other's, and I'm sure on occasion the sticks might fly in the air. Now, why is the one guy without cape? Is he like the junior member that's working for his cape, maybe?
Could be, that could be. Quick hits for them. They're dropping behind though. They're gonna have to get.
They're just having too much fun there.
They are.
Behind we saw the Tudor Doctor. They've got their banner out front and one of their representatives walking along, handing out some goodies. And here comes 92 KQRS, Minnesota's classic rock. They've got some music playing out of the back of their van. I know what station that might be tuned to.
Yeah.
And here is a business that is a welcome treat in many ways to those in town. This is Willette Bakery.
Another fairly recent arrival to downtown Robbinsdale, and it's busy in there.
And they've got the young chefs out here today. I like the hats there, guys. We might have to see about getting some of those. They are on Facebook now. You can head on to Facebook to find out more, and Willette.com.
They're not handing out pastries, though, Dave. I'm a little down about that. Or the eclairs.
They might not make it. They did have the cakewalk the other day, which was very popular in the earlier days of Whiz Bang days. Saw a lot of people out on the corner walking around. And the Robbinsdale School District is represented here. Aldo Sicoli right there, the superintendent in the middle of the street.
You get the superintendents come out. I don't know that I've ever seen that before, Dave.
Pretty good. In the job description, somewhere in the very small print, no doubt. But we thank him for coming out. They, of course, pay a lot of attention to Robbinsdale and all the communities and educating the young ones and educating the older ones as well with some of their community education. Northeast Minneapolis Ambassador Program coming up here in just a second. We've got some young representatives here. We're going to have to look. Oh, that's Lakeview Elementary, of course. That's where these young kids are from.
There they are.
About the school just a little bit ago. It looks like they've got pencils to hand out. That's a good sign with the school group handing out pencils. We'll get them sharpened and ready for September. And it looks like that Farmington connection continues. I think we've seen this fire truck before, but it's made its way back through because these are some of the past ambassadors. So part of the fun of being ambassador in Robbinsdale is you are never not an ambassador. You always get a chance to ride back through parades. There they go. They're having some fun up there.
There you go.
And even the old Farmington engine still has enough to get the siren going there.
Well, how old would that be, do you think, Dave, when you look at it? It's in the 50s, maybe? Got to be in the
50s, 60s, I would think. The little cherry on top, that type of light you don't see too often anymore. I mentioned Northeast just a second ago, and this is Northeast Minneapolis, and their very well-known float with the skyline there of Northeast. And theirs is another royalty program that gets around and represents that part of Minneapolis on a regular basis. I'm sure you've seen a few of those landmarks in your travels around Minneapolis.
It's hard to miss them if you're over Northeast at churches.
It looks like they have
Hennepin Bridge, of course.
Right. Yeah, you've been busy with a few bridges here lately. There's a few new ways, or almost new ways, to get across the river.
Yeah, the Lowry Bridge, of course, is next one up, and it's impressive from afar, but it's even more impressive up close, and that will open within about a month, I think, late August. And it's really gonna, I think it's gonna be an eye-catching experience to drive over it and be alongside it.
Brunswick United Methodist Church, right down the road, actually in the city of Crystal, but almost on the border, so we'll keep them in Robbinsdale as well. Brunswick4church.org, and it looks like they've got some Vacation Bible School promotion going on. The little hummingbird there has something to do. It looks like it's called Sky. So you can find out more at Brunswick. It looks like their Vacation Bible School is August 6th through 9th, so you can sign up today. All right, the royalty rush continues here in Robbinsdale. I think there are a few other people that took your idea, Mike. I think you've started a trend here. Actually, it's gone on for years with people going through the parade once and loving it so much they find a way back and right through again. And this is the royalty from this year, who we saw earlier. They were standing up waving. Now they get all their families on board.
Ah, there they go.
And it's a neat treat, too, because these families have spent a lot of time walking along the side and setting up the float. And now they get a chance to ride in a float.
Well, they've, one of the little girls there toward the top is a friend of my daughter's, and so I've gotten to learn a little bit about the commitment it takes to be the royalty. We talked about it a little bit earlier.
Right.
But all the different events and all the different, from parades to just stopping by the block party or the big band party, it's a lot of work.
And even when they're not on the float, I'm sure they're saying things about Robbinsdale. You mentioned before the parade, there's a lot of opportunity for people to talk, and people may not know Robbinsdale and say, where is Robbinsdale? And what do you have in Robbinsdale? And these young ladies and men get a chance to say that. So thanks for their service to the city. I think we're almost at another point here where it's best not to say anything and just listen for a second. We've got the Thayer brothers coming up here. Let's listen, and then we'll tell you a little bit more about them. Well, they're having a good time there, and they are from A1 Appliance, or representing that business here in the area in Robbinsdale.
Impressive.
And am I reading this right? It looks like all 7 brothers may be in the band. So it's a family operation potentially there. They are good and having a fun time here, and they are getting some big applause from the crowd.
They're auditioning for the block party next year, maybe. They
could be the case. And you see the big bus that's going to round us up here. This is KurtBills.com. He's running for U.S. Senate. And they obviously get noticed by the big bus rolling around town here. And right behind Kurt's bus, you see the police car, which means we're at the end of the Whiz Bang Days parade, but not the end for you, I bet, Mike. So you get a chance to go home, maybe get something to eat, and then out again to watch some fireworks.
Well, out again to the coronation.
Excellent.
I don't know what my role will be. I don't know if you guys are going to be there for the coronation, but I'll be there learning a lot about it and doing whatever I'm told to do. That'll be mine.
Sometimes that's good. That's what I do here as well. Mike, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by. He rode through the parade, then made the roundabout trip back and got back to us here. Again, thanks for joining us in Robbinsdale. This has been the 2012 Whiz Bang Days Parade. If you're watching us live, make sure you head on down to the festivities. If you're watching us on tape, come out to Whiz Bang Days next year. Thanks for joining us right here on Channel 12.